Hi, this is Lori again with HappyNaturalHorse.com and Natural Equine Remedies. So those who have seen the video before, we did one on dowsing. We're going to redo it. And so today we have the veterinarian book. So I am going to teach you quickly how to find out what issues you have with your horses if a conventional medicine cannot find the problem using x-rays, MRIs, imaging software for your horse's legs, and your horse is still off and you're not really sure what's going on with your horse. What I do when conventional medicine and holistic medicine cannot find the reason why your horse is having problems digesting, why he's off, where his pain is, and what he needs to get fixed, okay, to help himself heal. So in my book, Natural Equine Remedies, we have a chart that I went and printed, and it is a chart on everything that could be possibly wrong with your horse. And we are going to use a dowsing technique that it tells you about it in my new book, Natural Equine Remedies, how to dowse for what is wrong with your horse. Okay? And I put a chart in there. It's a yes-no chart. Now, this is not witchcraft. This is not voodoo. Okay? They dowse for water all the time on land. The government uses dowsing. Trust me. They probably got it to get Bin Laden. Okay? So, you can use a standard pendulum. This is my pendulum. Or, let's say, Richard Shrake even used this. You can pick up a rock. This is a crystal. This is, I think, a tiger's eye. And you can even make this into a pendulum. Just tie a piece of string around the rock and it will become a pendulum. Okay? And all it is we're using energy. Okay? There's tons of videos on dowsing, but I'm going to show you how to find it in your horse. Okay? So the very first thing you want to do before you start and proceed, you want to copy out of my Natural Equine Remedies book the chart on finding out what your horse needs. Okay? You just copy it, you lay it there, you have your yes-no chart laying here, and then if you want, you cannot be in a bad mood when you do this. You have to be in a happy mood, and you have to have positive energy, and you have to let your mind go somewhere else. Otherwise, the dowsing won't work, because what happens is if you have negatives or your self-doubt about the answers, then you're not going to trust your answers. So basically the pendulum will help you. What I do is I sage it first. I got some smoke in my eyes. And I sage it first, okay? And I just smudge it with a little bit. I just burn a little sage, and then you blow it out, and then you let the smoke, and then you put your pendulum through it, and that cleans it. And then you just put out the rest of your stuff. Got your chart ready. And today we're going to use a horse. His name is Juju. And we're going to have all our charts here. The yes-no chart for people that have a hard time. Okay, you have a hard time trusting yourself, then yes-no chart does it all. So I'm going to lay the hair. There's a piece of hair. You go get a piece of hair. It can come from the tail. It doesn't matter how big a piece of it is. Just a little bit of hair is all you need from your horse that you want to talk to. You lay it on top of the yes-no chart. Sage your pendulum. Okay? And then you just get it ready to ask questions. Okay? So the very first question you ask your horse is, may I talk to you? You do have to ask permission to talk to the horse. So I'm going to say, Juju or Jumbala, is it okay to talk to you? And he says yes. Okay, when the pendulum goes up like this, he says yes. When it goes the other way, I'm going to make it go no. There's his no. Okay? But it tells you on the chart. And then you take a pen, okay, you write your horse's name, Juju, the date. So, and then you ask him, do you have a nutritional deficiency? And he says no. Is there any problem? Do you like your diet? He says no. Is your back sore? And he says yes. Now, you can use There's a skeletal chart in the book. It shows you a skeletal chart right here. Okay, so he says it's its back, and I'm going to lay this down just so I could find it, and I'll ask him, is it in quadrant 1? And he says no. Is it in quadrant 2? And he said yes. Okay, is it in quadrant 3? And he says no, it's not. Is it in quadrant 5? And he said yes. And quadrant 4? And he says no. So, and it shows you the quadrants in the book. Okay? It's real easy to do. You just print them off. So, okay, so he says, is its back? So you check it off. It's my back. It's your ribs? And you wait a minute. And he says, yes, it's my ribs. And your stifles, do they hurt? Are your stifles, I say out. You know, like meaning, are you in pain there? Yes. Are your hocks bad? And you just give it time, and it says no. And then you can ask about his head. Is there any place in your head that hurts? Like, do they need their teeth done? Do your shoulders hurt? And he says no. Do your tendons hurt? He says no. Your ligaments? No. And your teeth? No. Okay, so then you come down here. Is your pain muscle related? You ask, is your pain muscle related? And he says no. And do you have a mineral deficiency? And he says yes. And then you can go through the minerals. You can say, is it iron? Is it magnesium? And he's saying yes and all. Do you have emotional issues? You could ask your horse if he has emotional issues. And he says yes, he does. This horse was abused. I know a little bit about him. Is your liver blocked? Meaning, is the energy blocked there? He says yes. Is your heart blocked? He says no. Is your kidney blocked? No. Is this all diet related? And he says yes. Okay. Do you have toxicity? Yes. Do you have a respiratory problem? And he says no. Do you have a digestion problem? Because that's where most of your problems are going to be, in the digestion. Is your thyroid out? Yes. Can this be balanced? Can this be balanced? We have a little kid here today. Can this be balanced with nutritional? Yes. Okay. So then you go down and it's going to tell you the modalities of what you could do to help your horse. So is it acupuncture? Yes. Do you need acupressure? He wants it all. Do you need chiropractic? Yes. Do you need pain point release from my pain point? How to identify and release your horse's pain points? Yes. Do you need a blacksmith? He says no. Do you need to be rain dropped? No. Do you need herbs to help you with your problem, your issue, your health issue? No. Do you need liniments? No. Do you need homeopathics? And he says yes. Do you need a vet? And he says no. So, well, you could go to the homeopathic chart. It's in the back of the book, okay? And it tells you all the homeopathics. They're the basic ones. And all you do is, do you need aconite? No. Do you need apis? No. Arnica? No. Arsenium? No. Belladonna? And if you don't want to go down the whole set, do you need this side of the list? He says no. You need this side of the list. Yes. So, do you need spongy eye? No. Rust tox. Do you need rust tox? And rust tox is for better movement and for bursitis and ring bones. It can also be used for tendons and stiffness. Do you need rust tox? Yes. And so you go, do you need 2 pills? He says, no. Do you need 3 pills? Yes. Do you need 4 pills? And then you ask them how many pills they need. No. How many days? So you go 5 days? Yes. More than 5 days? No. Okay. So then you go through all your homeopathics and you ask them like that. It's really, really simple to do. Here's another chart that doesn't really show you lameness, but it tells you which leg is lame. It's on Amazon, I think, for free. Anyways, it's not in my book, but I was going to use it today, but it's just his back. So how can you correct the problem? You can ask him, say, Juju, if you were given just the Big Sky, is that all you would need to balance your minerals? And he said yes. Do you need any extra like bentonite clay for ulcers? No. And I asked him, do you have an ulcer? And he's saying no, he doesn't have an ulcer, which is good. So another thing you can do too is you have your veterinarian guidebook here, and you can ask him, say, do you have anything in this book that you are having a health issue with? And he's saying yes. And then, no, are you saying yes? Yeah, he says yes. So, now, now you can go through the chapters and find out which one it is. And to make it really quick, all you do is, this is a disease. He's saying no. Do you have problems with your feet? No. Pastern? No. Is this a fetlock issue? No. Knee? No. Okay, so I'm going to go where he said in the fourth quadrant, the fifth quadrant, and he's saying yes to stifle issues, which is very easy to fix with my How to Identify and Release Your Horse's Pain Point books. It's now on Amazon, and you can get the DVD there too. Do you have a shoulder problem? He says no. Withers, his withers are out. The little girl has the book. She doesn't use it. I don't know why. People always get on their horses without checking their withers, so very easy to put back in. Okay, is it your back and barrel? That's sore, yes. So this is the remedies he wants from, he's just showing us in the veterinarian book what ails him. Is it, then you can go, is it your head and neck? No. Is it your respiratory? No. So you can go through and find out, especially when you have a really, really tough case. I had a tough case once with a horse. It was my little filly. She was two years old. Adorable. She was going to probably be a stakes winner. She flipped over. She was running like crazy. She landed wrong, and it took 6 vets. And about $700 later, and the whole time I'm dowsing her, and she's showing me in the veterinarian book, she's showing me which part of her hip was broke. And she said she wanted to be put down. And eventually what happened was, after we saw the sixth vet, we did confirm that she did have a broken hip. So the whole time she was telling me the truth. So of course, unfortunately, we had to put her down. But this is one great tool that it tells you about in my Natural Equine Remedies book. And if you have any questions, you can always email me or leave a comment down below. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and check out my website, www.happynaturalhorse.com. I hope this helps and explains how to dowse for a horse.